wondering when she was going to put the phone on. Anyway, how y'all doing? This is our 13th episode.
Oh,
I'm excited.
I ain't mess with nobody out there. 13, nope, nobody.
Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Vivid Rich HQ. Follow me on Instagram at Simply Gilda.
Follow me at the Real Super D. And we are
Material Girls.
So what's up, y'all?
Doing okay.
Let me make sure my ring off. Y'all, first of all.
It's off.
So we had a rough night.
We almost got fired.
Almost got fired. But we ain't getting fired.
No.
Because of that thing. I'm just playing. Please take that out.
I'm about to say, because I'm throwing her under the bus. I'm going to throw her under the bus all day. Because she been getting me in trouble.
You can leave that.
And I ain't even getting myself in trouble, and she getting me in trouble.
But no, y'all see, we don't have on no makeup or nothing today. We got on last.
I have on makeup. I'm ready.
You always lying.
I do have on makeup. I told you. Yes, I do. Clearly, I have on makeup.
Oh, you look beautiful. It don't look like nothing on. Y'all tell me in the comments if I look beautiful.
You look beautiful.
I don't have no makeup on.
You look beautiful.
Because I was
skin glowing.
I ain't got no man troubles.
Y'all, today, we talked about this last night on live, but
oh yeah,
a lot of people were interested in this, which we had already chose this topic. But today's topic is about the way Black people celebrate and the money we spend on celebrations. That's big.
This gonna be an episode where they beat me up again.
Why?
Because I'm about to drag them out.
So, statistically, stereotypes is we spend more money. I don't know the statistics for sure.
Very true. Let me Google it.
When it comes to,
because I know it's true.
So what I do know is poor Black people and poor white people kind of do spend the same amount of money on what looks good.
No, they don't.
From what I read, they do. And other than that, what I do know is about our environment, where I come from, environmentally, we waste a lot of money on material stuff.
Let me tell y'all something. White poor people, you're going to know they're poor because they're going to be dirty. Like, for real, not the ones that
what I read, statistically,
money.
White poor people and Black poor people
I'm looking it up now because you
hand.
ain't had your shit on point. So I don't know to believe that. But I'm telling you from what I know from having other race friends and stuff, when them people poor, they poor and they you gonna see.
I read that Black people Black people and Hispanic people spend more money on stuff that's visible, like clothes, money, cars.
And they really be poor.
But white people spend more money on stuff that you can't see, like their furniture.
Girl, they spend money on
and stuff
drugs.
like that. So,
because
when
they poor, they go crazy.
Well, I was taught, which nobody didn't physically tell me this, but just through experiences and behaviors, I was taught growing up from everybody around me, my parents included, to buy something for every holiday. So, we buying something to wear for 4th of July. We buy something to wear for Easter. We buy something to wear for Thanksgiving.
Hold on. In 2019, consumer what they say?
Expenditures.
Oh, I thought that was it. It just sounded really weird. Expenditures by black households totaled approximately $835 billion. Spending by all Black households has increased by 5% annually over the past 2 decades.
What does that mean?
That means that these Negroes still poor and keep spending money, and they're spending it at
but that doesn't mean it's just Black people. It's not just Black people.
That's what it say. I Googled it.
No, you just Google. That tells you about Blacks. It's not Black. That's not a versatile.
I said, what race spends the most money? Negroes first on the list.
Let me see.
No, get your own phone because you're mad.
I am not mad.
I am right. She's mad. So, again.
Black people spend 30% more than white people on visible goods. But white people spend more than Black people. statistically white people spend more because they got more to spend. Number one, we can't be compared because we only 35% of we only 13% of the population.
July 29, 2021, Black people are major consumers in the American economy and spend more than $1 trillion a year on goods and services. That's horrible. And I don't want to be the deep one on the show. I don't like showing people that side of me. But again, it goes back to slave days. And I always use this scenario because I really do have a problem with how much we are against each other. We don't realize, still haven't realized, probably would never realize as a whole, as Black people, we do not stick together. We are so envious of each other, but it comes from generation and generation and generation and generation after generation of previous slavery. As when the slave owners would get their biggest, baddest nigger to come on down, and this one get their biggest, baddest nigger to come on down and fight each other. When y'all big Black niggers standing there not realizing that y'all are real strength in the building and y'all should have turned around and whipped their fucking ass. But we wasn't mentally strong enough. And the few of us that are mentally strong, it's so few of us that it's easier for motherfuckers to go against you than to stand with you. And I really hate that for us. And I don't really like talking about it because it pisses me off because it goes down to Black history and things of that nature. The Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X. If it's just this many of us, we're going to always get killed. We're going to always be outnumbered because it's this many of us trying to get everybody else to understand what we saying. When a white man will come and find the weakest link out of the Negroes and gonna take them and they're gonna turn on us. It's always been like that. It's very sad. It's very overwhelming for me to even think about it because it's just like it's been going on so long. My little voice, my big voice, my bad, everything big over here, you know, it's not enough. Just like it wasn't enough for Martin Luther King. Y'all still not realizing today it's Black on Black crime. Always, always, always. They have built us to turn against each other. So the ones that stick together is like we stick out like a sore thumb.
But I will say this: what I read earlier, I didn't write it down because I didn't want to really talk too much about the comparisons and the statistics on white people. But I read this and I just pulled it back up. The University of Pennsylvania did a study on both, and in different race classes, they did a study on different races, they did a study on different classifications of incomes. And with their study came back, poor Black people and poor white people both spend more money on visible goods if they live in poor communities because such spending gives them more status relative to others in the community. So does Hispanics. I don't know if y'all see it, but they actually do spend money on those things. We would spend $1,000, somebody said yesterday, we spend $1,000 on clothes to go to the living room for Thanksgiving.
That's crazy.
I don't know who taught me that, but that is so normal amongst me, everybody around me, not just me. And doing that over time, last year I kind of like swayed away from it. And then I had a battle with my children because they were looking for something brand new to wear even though they weren't going anywhere. And so for me, how do you explain that to them that that's not okay when you've been doing it for so long? We never had a conversation about why I'm buying y'all clothes. I just went out and bought them clothes. Mind you, I'm buying clothes for 4 kids. I'm buying all of these clothes to go nowhere.
And then your bills coming up.
I never really had a problem with bills, but I know people that did. I know people that borrowed money from me, you know, to go
get stuff,
buy stuff for their children to look good, to do nothing. You're not even doing anything. You're sitting around with family.
And then you calling your brother who's selling drugs or something for money to help you pay your light bill. I ain't talking about you.
4th of July.
I'm using that as an example because it shows the mindset. Y'all know I'm very big on mindset, changing the way you think. Dog, it's so crazy. I made a video for Hurricane Ida, I was so mad because I saw some of the same people that was just in sex, that was just buying shit, taking trips, and doing all this with their unemployment and their PPP and their whatever else they got. But now it's a crisis. Now your family life is in jeopardy. Now you don't have nowhere to go, and you putting up a GoFundMe or putting up your Cash App. To me, that's bizarre. If I ain't never did nothing in all my days, from selling drugs, selling pussy, scamming, whatever I did, I always kept a stash. Got to know I got a stash.
For me, just the lack of knowledge. Yeah, that's common. But when people got their money, like I said, but when people got their money, they didn't know what to do with their money. So I'm not gonna judge what they went broke with their money and all of that. What I will say is the fact that it's lack of knowledge
for people.
It's not a soft heart. They don't know what to do with their money. I mean,
Listen, I understand that. Think about it. With you, I've been knowing you over 10 years with 4 children. I can't think of one time where you ain't did whatever you had to do to provide for your children. You been through all kind of turmoil and shit. But nobody ain't teach you to make sure you has a roof over your head for your children. Bitch, I know people that don't have roofs over their head or didn't have roofs over their head for children, but they getting a fucking outfit for
But I would be way better off if I didn't have the learned behavior of frivolously spending my money on material stuff because it looks good, when in reality I should be doing something completely different with my finances.
From when a person,
we as black people don't know our history. A lot of us learning later. I learned mine later. I'm celebrating 4th of July. I'm celebrating 4th of July.
See, you always say celebrate.
And I'm going out, buying clothes, buying all of this 4th of July stuff. I'm a black woman in America. I am an American. But in the reality of, I never knew my history, and I never even known I'm celebrating a day where black people wasn't even free. You know what I'm saying? When that day came, now I'm unknowledgeable about this.
When you say celebrate, it registers different for me because how you look at things of celebration, it really be a celebration. I never celebrated like that.
So 4th of July, usually every year,
we have a barbecue.
There's a barbecue. That's a celebration. What do you mean celebrate like that?
No, but I'm saying like as far as putting money out or just going above.
You just pop up. You don't throw a party.
Yeah, I don't
That's
throw
why.
a party.
I've thrown parties or I've participated in putting in for parties. And we're celebrating stuff we have no knowledge of. And we're frivolously, look that word up, wasting, spending our money, not caring where it's going on stuff that we shouldn't even be celebrating. Girl, not saying don't celebrate it, because you can celebrate whatever it is you choose to believe in. But I feel like the lack of knowledge and the learned behavior that we are, come on now, we literally spending money to go nowhere. We're spending money because we want to look good for what?
For what?
And we have literally made that normal.
Oh, you know what I hate?
We've made that normal. That is normal. I sound crazy to some people because they're going to buy an outfit and waste their money to do
what I told you.
nothing.
You don't sound crazy. You around crazy people.
No, I'm just saying, I'm the people that are looking. I'm not around these people because I don't care. I'm around people that don't do that no more.
Facts.
I don't do that no more. I battle with my children. I battle with my kids. For Christmas, Ryder got all educational stuff. My 2-year-old,
I don't understand.
Everything he got was educational or clothes, as he grew into, but nothing substantial to where I'm wasting money on meaningless things that isn't going to do anything for my children, but teach them how to waste their money when they grow up.
I agree. They have this guy on Instagram. He have no teeth at the top, like 4 missing teeth. But he had on a mirror jeans and a mirror hoodie with his pistol rapping. And I was like, oh, wow. You have on a mirror jeans. Ain't those jeans like $1,000?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, but they're hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And one pair of jeans, you could have got your teeth fixed.
Yeah.
A tooth in or whatever, but why is that okay? Like, that's crazy. You have 4 missing teeth. 4. But you got on a mirror jeans. And that bothers me because, again, it's our culture and we don't even realize. I've heard a couple of other podcasters speak on how we're always the face for the other man, the brother man.
Girl, I don't know about being a face, but to say we 13% of the population, and you just say how much billions of dollars we
Trillions.
spending.
Don't forget, it was
trillions?
It was TRI. Yeah.
And we 13% of the population in America.
Like even down to
13%. We not even a quarter.
the
We're not
population.
even 25. We're not even a quarter of the population. We're a little bit over a dime. And we spending $1 trillion.
That's bizarre.
Over $1 trillion
that we don't even have. You don't even make it though. Like you don't even make it.
How did that become normal?
Hold on, let me say this. Damn, I forgot.
I just want to know, when did this become okay for us to keep doing this, and why is this okay? Like, why is that okay? That's crazy how we was taught this behavior. When did you stop buying clothes for holidays?
It's been about 10 years.
What made you stop?
It was pointless.
No, was it pointless, or did you just feel like you had stuff to wear? That's a difference.
I never feel like I got nothing to wear. Like, you know, if I just be like, bitch, I don't have nothing to wear. But I have a closet full of clothes.
Yeah.
So it definitely was about 10 years ago.
So you saying you was already awoke in 10 years as far as, I'm not buying nothing for no Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not buying nothing to wear
I wear pajamas. We've been doing pajamas literally for about the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We wear pajamas. We still have an amazing time. Everybody's still happy. Everybody's still exchanging gifts. We still eating.
It was last year.
And I think maybe with you, a reason why I was so extended, because you do have smaller children. You know, I don't have to worry about that.
I'm realizing how my children is, and I'm just like, where y'all going? Yeah, it got to the point where I was telling my children, because they kept telling me to buy them stuff and buy them stuff, and I'm buying stuff and I'm buying stuff. And I'm like, wait, y'all not even going nowhere.
That I forgot. It was very important. But so let me say this before I forget, because this is very, very important. And every parent, everybody on your period, just think about the things that you've done to get a new outfit, to get a new pair of shoes. Just think of how low of things that you probably have done to get stuff. That's when it really started registering to me. One day I sat in the closet and I looked at all the stuff. $10,000 Chanel bags, $5,000 fucking Tom Ford shoes. And I sat there and cried because I felt empty. I had all the stuff, but I felt empty, and I started thinking about the things that I did for this.
Right.
Girl, I did not want to sleep with that man, bitch. But, bitch, I needed that new car.
It's a lot of things that people have done. And think about this.
Hold on, I'm not finished. Fellas, y'all feel like my son gotta have this, my son. So now you selling drugs to get your son stuff. Then you go to jail. Now what you gonna get your son? Now your son don't have the stuff, so you know what your son gonna do? Sell him drugs like daddy. Then you gonna be in jail trying to talk your son out of what he don't need and how he don't need that. But that's what your son saw you do.
Yeah, that's learned behavior.
It's learned repetitive behavior, and it's all for nothing, and it's all a cycle to keep us in bondage. My daughter, Kivana, totally different. DeWine, totally different. DeWine will wear the same, girl, we fuss at him. Because DeWine will wear the same joggers and shit repeatedly. You know why?
It's not even just about what they've done, because sometimes there are people that's not doing stuff for it. They just going to people and they find it, right? You go to somebody, you go to asking everybody, you go to extending yourself.
Horrible. That's belittling yourself. That's begging.
I'm not going to say that. My point of making what I'm saying is the length that you will go for
stuff.
Materials.
It don't matter what you did, you still did
whether you consider it as begging or whether you know the person gonna give it to you and you know they just like that. That I'm not categorizing why you doing it. The point is just understanding how far you will go for this when you're not going that far for something way more important, like getting your child in a better school or pushing education on your nieces and nephews or yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or furthering your own education. You're willing to go as far as calling and extending your hand to other people for assistance in your life when you could take that effort and put it towards something much, much better that's going to be helpful to you in the future.
So you don't feel like that's belittling yourself?
That's not my opinion. I'm not giving an opinion.
I asked you a question.
No, I don't want to say whether they belittling themselves or not, because I have people I could call and ask for money, and that's not belittling myself, because I got people that's going to give it to me. But the effort that I'm putting.
I'm not talking about when you say
give me an example of belittling, because I can't say they belittling themselves because everybody have a different circumstance.
If you sitting around with no job, no money, and you want a pair of shoes to go to a second line, some people don't have pride though. So it may not be. But for me, I would never be
with the circumstances that you just used
and ask nobody for no money, because that
person
is
might be
on the phone telling, girl, yeah, you know, Gilda called me with all them children. She ain't asked me for no money for to pay no bills, but she asked me for money, talking about she needed to get something. What? That's belittling.
Well, you gave an example, but when you first said it was an example. You just asked me.
Okay, well, I gave you an example.
Yeah, that is.
People do that. Like, people really.
But then again, is it belittling yourself, or is it you not prioritizing stuff? You just don't have good priorities, really.
You don't
belittling
have
yourself is going to have sex with an old man, to me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's belittling.
Right. But I feel like if you tell me, give you some money, if you say, give me some money to go buy this when I have important stuff that should come before that, then you're not prioritizing. You're not putting first what comes first. In my eyes,
that's still belittling, because that's like, not like you're begging. You're begging at the end of the day. And begging is
whether you want it because you need it or you want it because you want it, it's still begging. It's begging. If I ask you for $1, I'm begging you whether we friends or not.
That's not begging.
Right. It's begging to me though.
See, that's not begging.
Yeah, it's still begging.
When I asked you for $1, you feel like I was begging you?
Yeah. And if I ask you for $1, I'm begging you.
That's not begging.
That's begging. What's the difference? If I ask you.
No, that's not begging.
So you saying if I need it,
if you need it, that's
not begging.
That's not begging.
That's your opinion. I think it's all the same.
I don't feel like that's begging.
But it depends on the person.
It definitely does. So scenario, perfect example. I can remember, bitch, I was down on my ass. I was going back to Atlanta. I called you.
But technically, begging is, please, if I tell you no, to me that's begging. But I'm being funny, because you saying if you ask somebody ask for something, you feel like that's begging. But I feel like the relationship doesn't matter.
It don't. The relationship.
I feel like you're begging once a person say no, and then you keep asking.
Okay, so you saying it in a more structured way, a more politically correct way. Yeah. But I feel like begging is not having your priorities together and asking somebody to help. I ain't never asked nobody unless I was sleeping with them for something that wasn't a necessity.
Yeah.
That's like when I needed you and I pulled up on you, shorty, I need a few dollars till I get back straight. You felt like I was begging?
No.
See? And it ain't got nothing to do with our friendship. It's because you know one thing, that hoe gonna get some money. I'm
messing with you because I feel like
because
you saying if a person asks you, they begging.
That's watching, they probably need that raw reality. Damn, I've been begging all this time. You have with your bum ass.
Oh.
Because why is you laying on your back getting screwed and you need me to pay your phone bill, or you need me? What are you doing? Your priorities are not together.
Yeah, that's what
because you willing to belittle yourself and beg me for some money. I don't care if you ask me one time, a half a time, 3 times. You begging. You're begging, bitch, and the answer no. That's what I mean, y'all. When I be clicking out saying I'm not helping nobody, I will help Gilda because I know one thing. The only way she gonna ask and she not gonna ask, I'm gonna have to offer or give it to her because she don't ask. That hoe could be hanging on by a string. And I'm sitting right there and she not gonna ask. But because I know her, because I pay attention to my surroundings, to the people that I care about, you ain't gotta beg, you ain't gotta ask. Look, shorty, here, bitch, you're right.
Yeah, we just have that kind of relationship. But we those kind of people.
And I'm like that with other people that I know is worthy of being helped. So when I say I ain't helping nobody, it's I don't help people no more. They be begging. That's it. But I help people.
But what if they need it and they're not sleeping with nobody? Is that begging?
How many times?
What if they can't find a job?
Which I ain't find no job in years.
But I'm just saying, is that considered begging? Because I was messing with you about begging because I don't think it's begging.
Yo, look, you know how I feel. You want me to tell the world?
No, I don't want you to tell them.
Okay, so I'll plead the fifth. Wink, wink.
But that's crazy that black people spend 30% more on cars, clothes, and money. I mean, and jewelry, not money.
You see what you said? What if they really might need it? You know what I'm saying? We have it on new shoes and stuff. They begging, bitch. They buy what they want to buy.
Priorities.
Like, they really do, though. That shit be crazy to me because I really watch myself, put myself in some crazy situations, some dark situations to be a provider for my family. And there's people that have just asked when you can put yourself in the same position. Like, what is your motive for life? What is your motive for? If your motive is for the hustle or to do whatever you do for a pair of shoes every week, that's cool.
Right.
But don't call me and beg me.
Right,
for
after you spent all your money
bill.
going out. Yeah.
Oh, my light's about to get cut off. I just saw you last week at the second line, fresh today. You better bring that shit back and pay that light bill. Because I ain't got it. And I could be loaded with cash. I ain't giving it to you.
Because you prioritize it wrong. But as a whole, we have to learn. But that comes with understanding, too, what's important. Because
How
to
your
us,
children don't be important.
I'm not going to say the children aren't important,
They
but the
can
children
be,
looking good is important. What looks good to us has become a norm of what's
you could
important.
Look good. Your child could look good when they go outside from coming out the house with no water and no
Listen,
lights.
I'm not arguing against you.
No, I know.
What I'm saying is it has become a norm for black people in where I'm from that looking good is a priority. It has been normalized that is equally important. So whether I pay my bills or not, I have to get this outfit. I have to have this car, whether I can afford it or not. I'm going to put myself into debt by getting it.
I used to do that with
I
cars
have
and
done
shit.
that with across the whole board. Mind you, I never really put myself in bad situations because I had a steady flow of income. But
listen,
I
hold
still
on,
would go.
Let me stop you. You did put yourself in harm's way.
I didn't say harm's way.
Wait, what you say? You did
Bad positions financially.
You
I mean,
did.
I wasn't like going broke and lights getting cut off and stuff like that. Well, that's what I mean.
Listen, what I mean about bad positions.
Oh, I put myself in terrible situations.
Yeah. To make sure.
But I wasn't one of those people that bought the clothes. I wasn't one of those people that bought the clothes but couldn't afford to pay the bills.
Yeah. I'm not.
I was buying the clothes.
Saying that. I'm saying
that's what I mean. Was I putting myself in bad situations? I was putting myself in very dangerous situations.
And it's all be for
it was
nothing.
It was worse than bad.
If I wasn't chasing
always
after,
afraid that somebody was going to rob me.
If I wasn't chasing after stuff, I probably wouldn't have did half the shit I did because it was to buy and accumulate stuff in a look. I wanted to look. The most money I've ever had on hand, kept at a steady pace, was over the last 2 years because I ain't give a fuck about stuff. Of course, I'm a buy. I love bags. I don't really care about shoes like that, but bags, I love my bags.
Honestly, over the past, since I've been home, the last time I was arrested, I don't know how single moms do it. I had somebody ask me recently, how did I live all of this time without government assistance? I don't know how people do it. I don't know how I would have lived my life and taken care of my children if I would not have been doing what I was doing to bring in income.
You know why you feel like that? Because what your lifestyle required then.
Yeah.
So, like, we may look at it and say, what I always used to tell you, bitch, if I had all them children, bitch, I'd be smoking crack.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I would have survived without selling drugs, selling pussy, stealing cars and all kind of shit, doing everything. Yeah. Bitch, I probably would have been doing 10 times worse if I had that many people counting on me.
It was counting.
Depending on me, dog, not the fuck up. I remember being a single parent, football camps. Every week, the wine had another camp he wanted to go to because this college professor, whatever sports professor gonna be there, $700 here, $500, and that was with one fucking child.
Child.
So that's why I go so hard to the things that I do want us as a whole, women and men, to understand. Because y'all know really and truly, I don't give a fuck. But I would like you to do better.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing better and it feels great. I do not put on clothes like that. Material Girls came from me wanting women specifically to see that it really ain't about all that shit. Because when I sat in that fucking closet looking at all the shit and was empty inside, that was the worst feeling ever. Right. Just sometimes thinking about the shit that I really did.
You had everything but didn't feel complete.
Okay?
Yeah.
And guess what? Not today. I still got bags. But guess what? When I went to jail and had to pay $22,000 in restitution, guess what I was selling? Bags. Out of here. Rolex. Out of here. Got to go. But all that shit didn't mean nothing to me. One, because a nigga bought half of it. The other half I done scammed for it. So it had no value. Now, today, when I walk in the store and use the Winer Irvin name and buy my shit, use my own money, ain't just got off my back mad because, girl, but bitch, I did get $10,000. No, bitch, I walk in the store happy with my things. And now when I look in my closet, I stand there and smile and know that I did it for me. Yeah. I bought it for me, and I'm still at peace. I ain't ducking the police or none of this other shit. Worry about it, call it gonna come back. I ain't got to worry about none of that. And it has me at a better place mentally. You know how many girls I didn't talk to, looking at them drip down Dior chains on, and they mad because they hurt. Because they getting pimped by a man. They fucking this one and that
one. Or they
one.
purse empty.
And purse empty.
Don't have your purse empty.
Don't have your purse empty. I wish my Chanel was up his downstairs, but it's full of cash. I got a job.
So, honestly, just the fact that for me, this hobby was important because of what I've been going through at home. Like I told y'all, I've been learning so much just reading it. I've grown to another level of understanding to where I'm like, that's not important. Yeah. Yes. But now my children looking at me like, who are you? What are you doing? And so it's important for me to talk about because I think that it should be something that's openly discussed because why are we doing that? Why are we spending this type of money to go sit in the living room? Why are we spending this kind of money to go outside and get dirty on kids that don't even know what they're wearing? Now listen, if you can afford it, by all means, do what you can afford it.
Like
by
if
all
you can
means, I am not that person.
And still pay your bills.
I buy what I want to buy as long as I got the money to support my lifestyle, and I'm gonna get the money to support my lifestyle.
Therefore,
with that being said, my concern is for those who can't afford it because that's really not okay. And who sit up there and go find the money or go do X, Y, Z to get the money. Or go sell XYZ to get the money. It's just like, it's not important. You could go without. It's okay.
Question.
Let's normalize it being okay. Yeah.
For Christmas, when you ask your children, or first, do you ask your children, what y'all want for Christmas?
Yes.
Okay. What is their normal response?
Oh my God. Christmas is always over 10,000.
What?
Always.
It was you, Fatty.
I have to.
You gotta unlearn.
Christmas is always over $10,000 in my house.
Whenever I ask my children or my grandgirls,
that's a bad Christmas.
That's what I'm about to tell you.
$10,000 is a bad Christmas.
Whenever I ask them children, and this is no lie, what y'all want? They always say, nothing. We got everything.
Yeah, they got everything.
What I'm saying is, you have trained them in that mentality that they have to get something. And what I did was opposite. They don't feel like, first I always tell them, you don't work, you don't eat.
You know how many Apple Watches my children lost?
So, you see what you say? How many they lost? Once you lost the first one, you get no more.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it.
I mean, they want $1,000. They open up. Now, last Christmas, I'm a new person. You know, things change. And I'm not going to say in a sense, they didn't do as good as they usually do. So last Christmas was based upon like their behavior throughout the year. Because now I'm starting to see y'all really don't deserve the lifestyle that y'all have been living.
And you know,
and so I'm trying to retrain them.
Yesterday when she said she tries to overspend because she not there. That's another mentality.
That's what I was doing.
We got to get out.
No, I was doing that. I felt like I missed a lot.
But this the thing. Money and things can't buy that time back. So then you had to learn that part too. That'll
But
never get it back.
money and things can't buy that time back. But when you a single mama and you have to work and out and work and work and work and you cannot be there because you do not have the support. And it's easier said than done when you have a tribe of people to help you. But when you have nobody that'll help you and you got to bust your ass and work and do all these things, you're gonna come through in some type of way.
I'm not saying that you're not gonna substitute, but that's not.
They have some mamas that don't see their children for 2 days because by the time they come home, their children come home from school and they gotta go to work.
But
they work on different schedules, so they want to make up for that time.
Listen, I understand that, but stuff is not gonna make up when them children get older and growner and want to express themselves to you. I could guarantee you, 8.5% out of 10, they're gonna tell you that shit didn't mean nothing.
So this is my theory.
Let me finish. I wasn't finished.
Okay.
Say your theory. Let me finish. Children are very manipulative, especially when they know your weakness, when they know you feel like you haven't been there or you're unavailable. They're going to try to manipulate you into thinking that that stuff is going to make up for you not being there when it really don't. I did the same shit when I let DeWine live in New Orleans and I came out here, even when I stayed in Texas. And let them stay in New Orleans. Bitch, I used to send dirt bikes and all, because I was doing everything under the sun. Bitch, I had it like that. Sending dirt bikes to Betsy House. None of that shit didn't matter. He rode the dirt bike for a week and I never saw it again. It was in a fucking, in a driveway, getting dust on it. None of that stuff can fix or fill in that hole. Even when, like, not today.
For me, I don't care. This is my perspective, my theory. And it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't care, so I don't want to come off like I don't care, but I don't have help. This is the life that was made, right? I can't change it. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to put forth the effort. This is how I feel. For children, there are children that grew up and their parents was always there, and they grew up and they said they didn't have nothing. Because their parents stayed at home and made sure they had it. They was there for them. They have children, their parents was always busy, and they say their parents ain't spend time with them. The child, to me, if they're going to grow up and complain, they're going to complain anyway. In my perspective, that's my theory.
I don't disagree
so because
with that.
I cannot change or I cannot get the support that I need to change the lifestyle to be wear all those different hats, I've already concluded in my mind what it is and that I'm not worried about what they're going to grow up and see.
Oh, no.
As long as I'm doing the right things and I'm putting in effort to being there for them for their feelings, I cannot be present in those ways. I know I can't. It's just me. I'm not a superwoman. And I don't want any other mama to feel like that's pressure toward them, how the children going to feel, when they get older. You say 8 out of 10. Them 8 could get out of my face because I did everything I could.
No, I didn't say that for you to be defensive.
No, I was going to say that anyway. My theory on that is what
y'all
it is.
either. Yeah. I was not saying that.
Because they're going to grow up and, to me, they're going to grow up and complain anyway.
They're going to complain about something.
Yeah, they're going to complain anyway.
That wasn't what I was saying about. I was saying it towards you when you said that you feel like it was, I don't know if you say like it was
so
okay.
So that was why I did
whatever.
A lot of the stuff because I wasn't there.
And I agree with you that I did the same thing, but what I want them and you to know that it don't make up.
No, it ain't gonna make up.
Gonna say something about
no, it's not gonna make up. But listen,
it don't
for me,
feel that void.
This is what I did. It don't feel a void. But I looked out in a sense, so that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I do it.
Yeah, but
listen,
you're changing it now.
No, let me tell you why I did that. Whether it didn't feel a void or not, that's how I came through because I couldn't give you my time. Now, I still can't give you my time. So I couldn't give you, now you're gonna grow up and you're either gonna understand it or you're not. Yeah. At the end of the day, my time could not be given to you, period. So because I couldn't give you my time, it ain't like I was fucking off and just ignoring you. Yeah. So because I couldn't give you my time, that money I made sure you had an extra smile on your face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You was extra happy when it came to you opening your present. So I know that the time can be, be replaced.
That was my only
I already know
that.
You but I already know that the child, I already know. I'm not, at the end of the day, you're going to complain anyway.
I can't feel like
now I'm not doing it. I'm trying
to fill that void because it's not.
Thank God for cell phones and text messages. So when now my kids are older and I can send random messages and I can talk to them when I'm busy.
The time that you spend with them when you're not at work, y'all be lit. Even when you be screaming their head off, they still be laughing at you and stuff. Yeah. That's time.
Yeah.
You spending time with them. The one's about to be 23 and he be like, "Ma, no, we gonna spend time together. I don't care if it's an hour. It's still an hour that we together. Right. Cause that's what you gonna remember. that's what you gonna remember. Bitch, I used to send all kind of shit to New Orleans, feeling guilty because I ain't there. And guess what? When it was time to say it, that's exactly what I said. I couldn't be there. You wanted to go to football camp, right? So, bitch, it was either me go do what I gotta do, working at the shop till 3 o'clock in the morning, not seeing you till the next day.
Right.
What's up? But you did what you wanted to do. You where you at because of the decisions that I made.
Pretty much.
But a lot of times, those kids, they do manipulate us as parents.
Ain't gonna manipulate me.
You be getting manipulated, girl, though.
Not about the children.
You do. We all do. It's okay. They will, girl, we didn't manipulate our parents.
No, I didn't.
Girl,
I never manipulated my parents. Never.
you told me you was sneaking out.
I never manipulated my parents.
So where you told them you was at?
They didn't know I was gone. My daddy was always gone. What are you talking about? I never manipulated my parents.
I manipulated my parents.
I'm about to see.
I did.
My parents, when I snuck out my house, my parents ain't even know I was gone. By the time I was 16, Katrina hit, I ain't never lived with them again. I never manipulated them. When I was growing, I never went back home, ever. I have never lived with my parents since I was 16 years old. I lived with my mama for 2 weeks when I came home from jail. For 2 weeks as an adult. I have lived with my parents since August 2005, and I was in 11th grade. I haven't lived with my parents ever since. I ain't manipulate my parents. I've been grown. I've been an adult.
I definitely did. I used to manipulate my mama with my grandma. Because I knew my bestie, I could do whatever. So I'd be like, well, just bring me my grandma. If you going out, I'm going with my grandma. Girl, doing whatever. And making her feel like, girl.
I ain't do that. I really didn't talk to my mama much when I was younger. To manipulate her. And my daddy, he was always gone. My daddy had a bar. So
he always there working.
From 5 o'clock till whatever time in the wee hours of the morning, he gone. I'm missing.
I couldn't manipulate
my parents would sleep all day. My daddy slept all day and was gone all night. So I barely saw him once I became a teenager.
Dwayne
so was no manipulating them.
Dwayne was the place where I went when they needed to get me under control. And once I was all the way out of control, girl, I wasn't standing about Dwayne either. When I realized I wasn't scared
they tried to give me the control, and they sitting by my mama. The first time I lived with my mama, I was 14 or 15. I was 15 years old. When I moved to my mama, I was 15. Didn't last because I was gone.
Girl, you know y'all both little. Girl, I know she was.
Girl, I was gone. I left.
Girl, you wasn't gonna play what?
My mama didn't play. My mama didn't play. She was different. So it was different with my mama than my daddy. She paid more attention, but she wasn't as active.
Yeah.
She paid more attention because she wasn't really doing much. Because my daddy was always super busy. So it was hard for him to pay attention because he was so busy. But yeah, so I think both of my parents was the same when it came to discipline. My daddy was worse.
Oh, my daddy would bust that ass.
My daddy would bust my ass. Yeah, I grew up getting my behind whipped. I grew up always getting a whipping. I'm not even scared to get hit. That's probably why I wasn't afraid to fight men. Because I grew up getting my ass whipped young. I used to go home and tell my daddy what I did, just ready for the whip. You want me to bend over? You want me to go get the belt? I was horrible. I was so bad. I did not care.
That's horrible.
I had been groomed to, I grew up with all boys in a house full of men.
You always say that.
Yeah.
See, and I told you, I always was versatile because I
was groomed to be a punch on. My brothers would fight me. I was groomed to get my behind whipped.
Because I was a little black princess. So when I go across the canal, girl, they like, bitch, we gonna show you. But they made me tough. Like, really? And I knew Michael, what? Girl, many of them used to do me all kind of stuff. Smother me with the pillow and everything.
Really?
Bitch. What? Girl, it used to go down. But I wanted to do that because I was the only child for so long.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest. So, bitch, then when Tay and Lil Dwayne came, they were too young for me to play with. So I always wanted to be by my cousins. And they used to fuck me up because I used to come down there all done up. You know.
I remember one of my cousins tied me. He was sitting in a chair, and then he took both my ponytails and he choked me. That's how long my hair was. God bless the day. My cousin died. No, he was way older than me. He was so fun. I loved him. He was so wonderful. I love my cousin.
Girl,
his name was Lil John.
Girl, they pushed me in the trash can. Girl, it was all kind of stuff. But I love my cousins still to this day. I love my cousins. I love them so much.
I used to love my cousins.
It was 11 of us, and we all, like, my grandparents' house. on St. Maurice, that was the meetup spot. Papa had us there, and we all there. Like, girl, that was the best times of my life.
For real.
Like,
With your
especially,
family.
yeah, girl, being the only child, girl, that was, bitch, I used to have a choice to either get a whipping or you can't go across the canal. Whip me. Bitch, I used to go get the stick off the tree, and Robin used to tear my ass up. And
That was a good choice. Your mama was really nice. Because I'm getting a whipping and I'm not going nowhere.
oh, no.
I had both.
She was nice, bitch. My mom was in the streets. That's where that part of me come. My mom was in the streets, bitch. Rock, what that is, bottom line. The hangover, bottom line, my mama was a hot girl, baby.
You so crazy.
She ain't really, she had to whip me because when you leave, I'm not punished no more.
Right.
I'm my bestie. So that ain't never worked. But then what they would try to do is, because they knew my daddy ain't play, when I really did something, they'll call my daddy. Now I gotta go on the night walk. And it'd be a punishment, but
You
when
having
he
fun with your
gone-
cousins?
Yeah, my cousins down, yeah. But back to the whole,
How long were you the only child?
I think Tay and Lil Dwayne is 8 and 9 years younger than me. Cause Dwayne and Tay a year apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Girl, and when they got here at first, I did not like them. Y'all in my way. It's all about me. What are you guys doing here? And when are you going back to where you came from? And now we like this.
Oh.
I love them mother effers. Their sister, their brother. I love them. We talk every day, girl, because they're grown now. I didn't know what to talk. Like, I was really, they're nothing like me. Like, they gonna get it on. They gonna, they're getting a fight there. But street, they're not nothing like that. They're very book smart. Dwayne graduated next week with his, what's the highest one? Is the master's?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's graduating with his master's. Shout out to you, Lil Dwayne.
It's not the highest. PhD is the highest. Or doctorate.
The doctorate or PhD, well, he getting his master's next week. Tay, she's on her way to get her bachelor's. They really are smart, and they funny as fuck like me. They stupid. But it took for them to get grown because I always looked at them like little sister and brother.
Right.
I wouldn't curse them, like, yeah, bitch, where you at? Like, we really
Y'all
jam now.
definitely got a good relationship.
But Lil Dwayne is very, very, he spends money. But Dwayne has a great job. Dwayne making a bag. So he don't have no children. He could do that. Tay, all her money go on is her baby. She got her first child, but again, she's very prioritized. She have a house. She don't drive, so she don't need no car. But she not like that. When it's time for Lil Ramon to put on his Amiris, he got them. But during the day, he wearing anything, a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't about that. Kivana, my godchild,
We definitely have to normalize it not being about that.
Yes, and
Let's normalize
I
that,
think I
people.
did well with them kids with that, because Kivana, Theory older now, Theory 12, so Theory say, Nanny, I want off-whites, but Theory makes straight A's, so I buy her that, and I tell her all the time, certain shit, don't tell your mama, because your mama get up and go to work every day, she got 2 of y'all. Nanny just got y'all for real, because the wine grown. So don't put that pressure on your mama to make her feel like, oh, I gotta get, because she don't. You
Right.
got everything you need. You got a roof over your head. You got a car to get to and from school. And we building right now. So I take them with me when I'm going look at property and buying land so they can see this is what it's about. Yeah, Nanny look nice, but this is how
There's
you
stuff
stay.
that's way more important. Yeah.
And that's what we really need to teach our kids, because, again, for me, y'all know I really can be very deep. And I look at these children, they're so lost. And when I say children, I'm really talking 20 years and under. And it's horrible. It breaks my heart.
Well, it's learned behavior from my perspective, a lot of it, and just teaching them without, because we think that what we say we're teaching them, but we're really teaching them about what we do.
But
and
a
it
lot
took
of
me
the
a while
parents,
to learn that.
a lot of the parents, they don't have this knowledge either. And like you said, it's learned behavior. These little 16-year-old, 13-year-olds, they're robbing people because they want Jordans. They feel like they have
They've
to
been doing
have
that for a long time, and that's normal.
That's
Unfortunately, so we have to normalize it not being normal, because I know they've been robbing people for Jordans all over the country since Jordans came out.
No, I'm talking about the children that's breaking in cars and stuff. I ain't talking about
That's normal.
They're doing it. That shit not normal.
That's normal. You know how long that's been going on? I've been riding a stolen car since I was 12 years old. I started riding stolen cars when my boyfriend died.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Where's my holy oil?
But that's been going on.
It's
become more widespread, but that was normal to
normal.
us. That was normal to me growing up. And you know what's crazy? Because it's so widespread, it's affecting people. I'm hearing one of my friends called me, and she was upset. This is a friend that actually was with me when we was standing at one day. The guy who I was dating when I was 12, 13, he used to pick us up every morning for school and pick me up every evening after school. So one day we waiting in a stolen car. So one day we waiting. It's a true story. And so he didn't come, so we started walking. And we walked home, and when I got home, my phone rang, house phone. And I answered the phone. By then I'm home. Everybody called on the phone. They were like, he died today. And I was like, what? Stop lying. I'm going to tell that boy you playing with him. I told him that too. The guy on the other line. And come to find out it was true. So my friend called me a couple of weeks ago. And she was like, this is scary society right now. I'm just happy that we grew out of that. Because they saying they want all these little children to die and they're going to shoot them and this and that. And she was like, we really used to do that. And I would, that's crazy. And I wouldn't want nobody to die over it. She was like, we really grew out of that. And she reminded me.
I feel like that if you.
She reminded me that we used to do that because I forgot that we used to do that.
Shoot at
we
you.
always had a different stolen car. I stayed in a stolen car growing up, always.
And if them people would have saw you in their car, they should
have. The boy
who
used to steal the cars, he died in a police chase with the police. He had a car accident. He died in the car in a wreck. He was 16. I was 13 at the time when he died. And again, when I'm young, as a child, as an adult, I get what you're saying. You work hard for your stuff. But as a child, it's not registering.
But where your parents at that's not teaching you to not do that?
My parents had no idea.
But did they ever tell you don't get in stolen cars?
My parents, no. They didn't know I was getting in stolen cars.
But you don't
They probably won't know until this episode.
But what I'm saying is they
and
never
I was getting up every morning
they never
getting in a stolen
car.
car.
To do that.
My parents never rode in a stolen car. I never saw my parents.
No, I'm telling you, they didn't sit you down and have a mother-daughter, father-daughter talk. Listen, XYZ, you don't get in no stolen car. I was taught that. I wasn't
taught that. I taught it to my children.
Okay, you taught it to your children.
So for me, my perspective is, and the person that called me recently about it, those children are really it's not registering in their mind. Trust me. I did it.
So
I never thought about the person who the call was for.
I understand that. I don't feel sorry for them, though.
Yeah. No, I didn't say that. I never say that.
No, I'm not saying you say that. I'm just
what made you say that, though?
Because you said your friend called you and felt bad. Like, the kids, she said she don't feel like the kids should be killed.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they should be killed, but they need to be shot.
But I understand.
If I catch you, what if the little child got a gun and turn around and try to shoot at me?
I don't think they should be shot. I don't think they should be shot.
Why?
But that's just my opinion. Because I know, for me, I did it. I never, not one time in a car, if I could remember, and I've rode in several stolen cars, have I ever thought about the person who the call was for? I never thought about the person who the call was for. And no point have we ever talked about it. The only person we thought about was the police getting out and running. That's it. I never thought about who this car is for and what they going through and how they worked and all this stuff adults talk about.
I don't think that
no, that's mainly the opinion though. This your stuff. You feel like this your stuff. How you just come take it? They're not even thinking about you.
I understand that too. But like you said, your parents
it's more personal. It's more personal with people who it's for than it is for the person that's taking it.
Of course.
It's not personal.
It ain't no different.
For me, my opinion is they shouldn't die behind it.
If the person who called, I swipe, if they want to pull up and shoot me, hey, I stole that shit. What is it?
Yeah, I just don't feel like they should die behind it. But that's just my personal perspective.
Don't touch my
because again, being a child that did those things, it never. I feel like
it goes to the parents.
I don't think so. I wouldn't blame that on my parents at all. Because I know for a fact.
I'm not blaming it on
my
them,
daddy would have snatched me out that car
He would,
and
but he
whooped the
never
sleeves
even
off of
talked
me.
to you about
He never
it.
even
He didn't
imagined
even
talking to
give
me
you-
about it because he never ever thought I would do something like that.
Why? You a child. Children do stupid
My
things.
daddy ain't never thought I would get no stolen car, and I know that for a fact.
I'm not
My daddy
saying-
talked to me about it many and plenty of things. We never talked about a stolen car. Never. Because some people just don't have those conversations, especially men. A lot of men don't have those conversations with their daughter because they're not thinking that their daughters is going to
Or
do
sometimes
those
they
things.
be in denial
I'm quite
thinking
sure.
their daughter is such a good girl.
I don't think he thought I was a good girl, but I don't think he thought I was doing that either. I know my daddy don't know I was doing this until this show.
Okay, I'm not saying
I was
he
smooth.
didn't.
I was smooth.
But again, me feel like it goes to the parents. Everything that I didn't want my child to be a part of, I talked to him and told him about it when he was old enough, probably about 6, 7
My
years
parents,
old.
my daddy was young. But again,
Bitch, I was
maybe if I
14.
had more, your parents was young?
I say I was 14.
No, I said, was your parents young?
No,
My parents was young. I had young parents.
That's not.
But
I get
for me,
it all,
I
but
think
it's not
that
an excuse.
I'm not making an excuse for my parents.
No, because you keep saying that your daddy was young. I was 14, but I taught
My
the
daddy
why
was young and didn't have no
don't
knowledge.
get
I don't
into
know.
No stolen
I
cars.
know.
You don't even get into if your partner.
You was
know
in the
for
streets
sure-
young, though. Of course you told your son that.
Yeah.
A person that's in the street is not going to tell their children that.
A person is what?
That's not in the streets ain't going to tell their children that.
You know, most of those people be in denial thinking because they're not like that their kids can't be like that.
But you are conscious of it because you aware of what's happening. And
Bitch,
there are
every
people
person
that
in
are
the world
not
should be a little conscious of some things because it's happening all over the world. You just said it's normal for stolen cars and this, that, and the other. You see it on the news.
I'm saying it's been going on. I'm saying it's been going on. It's normal for me. It wasn't normal for my parents. It wasn't.
Parents, just talk to your children.
I think but you have to be educated to have a conversation. You can't talk about something you're not educated on. How are we going to talk about something we don't know? That's like fentanyl right now. Not to bring that up, but nobody not telling they just starting to tell people, watch what kind of pills you take. They've been pressing pills for how long? But now
but to
people
me,
dropping dead from them.
feeling like that shit, I don't, you know me, certain shit I just don't. Like I say all the time, you just don't slip and fall on no pussy. And you just don't slip and fall on no dick. In pussy on the dick. That shit be made up to me.
What?
Everything be excuses. People make excuses for everything that they do. Me, I have never made an excuse for nothing I did. I never called my mama to come get me from jail. I never called my dad to come get me from jail. I take my lick with everything I do.
Never did either.
It don't matter if you really have knowledge. I knew swiping calls was wrong. The end. My mom ain't tell me no
A
swiping no calls.
13-year-old that parents don't know what they outside doing, you cannot blame their parents. You can't
on.
blame their parents.
It ain't about blaming.
You just said
about
that. It's the
them.
parents' fault. That was your exact words. Run the tape back.
Well,
it's the parents' fault.
Okay, well, it's your fault.
That's your opinion.
Just like the
I don't
lady
think
got on
it's
the
their
news,
opinion.
this lady
I don't
went
think it's
viral. That lady said, I'm not going to even say who my son was because my son probably killed one of y'all children standing out here at this conference.
are parents that are
hold
aware.
on, I'm not finished. That lady said, my son dead right now, but I'm not going to get on here and perform and act like my son wasn't in the streets. That lady said, at one time I was in the streets, but when I gave my life to Christ, I tried to give him more awareness on, dog, you don't have to be like this. You don't have to do this. She said that one of his friends told her after the funeral, whatever the child name was really trying to change. But he had then did so much, it was pretty much too late. But she's not being naive. You can't tell me why the fuck you don't know what your 13-year-old child doing. Come on now. You can't tell me that unless you're not being attentive to your child.
You're funny.
No, you're funny.
So
and
you mean to tell me, hold on,
excuses.
every day I got up and I went to school, right? Right? I never did nothing outside of school hours. So how you don't know your child at school if nobody don't call you and tell your child not at school?
Listen.
There are parents that are unaware.
Parents be unaware, they be in
Now
denial,
listen, I'm not
girl.
taking up for parents because a lot of parents be knowing what their children do. Me, I know what my children do. To this day, I tell my parents don't ever get on the news and say what I'm not gonna do because I'm everything under the sun they saying. But I know for a fact when I was doing it as smooth as I was, they ain't know.
Let me tell you something, Gilda. Again, and I'm gonna use my own son as an example. When I'm gonna use me as an example first. When I was cutting school, no, my mama didn't know I was cutting school. That's how I came back pregnant. But my mama also was the mama that ain't sit me down and tell me, listen.
That ain't your mama focus your how that's what's having sex. But that's pretty much what you saying.
No, I'm not. You're not gonna tell me what I'm saying. And I told my mama that when she felt the way. I'm not blaming you. It's not
sound
your
like
fault.
it.
No, it don't, bitch.
That's what it do.
No, it don't.
You getting angry now. You're an angry bird because that's definitely what it sound like. You sound like you're blaming your mama. Waddle, waddle, waddle,
I'm
waddle.
not blaming her.
That's what it sound like,
no,
though.
But I'm telling you, you're making me upset because you're telling me that I'm trying to say something that I'm telling you to your face because I ain't got no reason to lie to you, bitch, or nobody on here. Why would I blame my mama? I was the one cutting school. But as a parent, my mama never talked to me about having sex. I'm growing up. I'm having a cycle now. You should have talked to me about when you have a cycle, you need to make sure you're not having sex because a baby can come out. I never knew none of that could happen just because I had a period. I didn't have the knowledge because my supervisor, my supervision should have told me that. My child, 23, and ain't got no baby.
You saying that, but you're not blaming her? It sounds like you're blaming her.
Bitch,
you said it's the
girl,
parents'
wrap
fault.
the episode up because you going to try to make it out what you want to make it out.
We're going to replay it and you're going to hear everything, and it sounds to me like what you're saying is it's the parents' fault.
I'm not blaming my mama, but I do blame parents for not being attentive to your
child.
child.
I agree.
When my child was getting fucking cash apps, dinging, $20 and $20 and I wasn't giving it to them, where you get money from? Now you going
I think it's a difference in what you're saying.
No,
we're going to conclude this episode.
For selling weed when I was attentive enough to know you doing something. And I told him, whatever you doing, it's going to hit the fan. But I wasn't naive. I wasn't not paying attention. 23 years old today, I still pays attention.
They got some children that smooth stuff go over their parents' head.
All right, y'all. Have a good day. What it is, episode?
It's episode 13. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vivid Rich HQ. There are parents that don't pay attention, they're not attentive.
To that dick,
but there are parents that don't know what's going on.
I bet you they.
You're too judgmental of parents.
They know what
you're way too judgmental.
Because, girl, don't get me to go there.
You're way too judgmental.
Well, that's
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And
Vivid Rich HQ. And follow me on Instagram at Simply
And I feel like that because all them most parents always have something to say about a teenage mother, and they really talk down about being a teenage mother, and y'all old hoes, children be robbing.
It's clear you're taking it very personal.
Yeah, because
you about to bite my head.
I was a teenage mother, and my son is about to graduate with his bachelor's December 20th. How about that?
Okay. I'm not disputing you. I'm just saying you're going a little too hard on parents.
Girl,
and their attention.
Parents won't get on there and be like, John ain't did nobody nothing. Bitch, John robbed the whole fucking dice game, bitch.
No, you was
and paid your light bill. That's how their mamas be when John be killing everybody.
No, I'm not disputing.
Girl, whatever. It's over. See y'all next week.
About